We have been on an unprecedented climb in home values since we hit bottom of values following the banking scandals in 2012. So here we are 12 years later, and we've gone from having some of the most affordable housing in any developed country to now unbelievably unaffordable housing, particularly on each coast and some big metro areas in between. And so our wallets are really being squeezed. So it forces us to make choices. A lot of people choosing to rent instead of buy. And the housing cost, which is the largest cost most of us have, has now put a strain on the rest of our money. And there's one thing we spend so much money on as Americans that's the one area we can have the greatest impact, and that's the wheels we drive. Because something's got to give. The housing costs consuming more of every dollar we make leaves less money for us for transportation. And okay, so reality, most people are driving more vehicle than they actually need. I mean, I started this podcast talking about needs versus wants. You look at cars, transportation, and so much is, well, I just wanted it. I didn't even know I was going to buy something. And I saw that new SUV and I pulled into the dealer. Before I knew it, I got it. Now I'm in this new 6-year loan. And interest rates are not low on vehicle loans right now. They're high. And the cost of new and used cars has come down, but they're still way up from before the COVID supply chain disruptions. So if you'll go into my vehicle buying straitjacket, you'll be in much better shape. Rule number 1, if you think it's time for you to get a new vehicle or new to you used vehicle, go pre-qualify for financing. Go get it done. Go to a credit union. Really never a bank. Go to a credit union because credit union loan rates almost always are quite a bit cheaper than loans from most banks. If you get lucky and you find a local bank that's writing really good rates on vehicle loans, fine. But usually you're going to find that you're much better off at the credit union. Sometimes much, much better off. You want to be much, much better off? Have a loan from a credit union than financing at the dealer. Always have your financing arranged. And when you go to the dealer, if they've got a special factory subsidized loan available on whatever make and model you're buying, this would be new vehicles, and it beats what you have from the credit union, fine, go for it. But when you're going to shop for that loan, I'm going to really put you into a vice you're going to hate me for right now, but love me later. If there's a vehicle you're targeting and you know the approximate price and the credit union loan officer or the online tool on the credit union website says, well, you take out that loan for what I recommend, I tell people 42 months. People look at me like I'm crazy. But let's say you even go 48. If that payment at 48 months doesn't fit in your budget, it's not time for you to be buying a new vehicle. Period. Unless your vehicle was stolen, not recovered, totaled in an accident, whatever. It's not time for you to buy a new vehicle if you cannot afford the payment on at most a 48-month loan. My preference 42, but max 48. The financial harm you're causing yourself when you go into a longer loan where you're upside down in that vehicle for the life of the vehicle, it's brutal because you are a prisoner to that payment and money's already tight because of how much housing costs are. So how bad is it to keep driving what you're driving? There are times that what somebody has is no longer reliable transportation. And you're pushed between a rock and a hard place and you need to get something else. New to you, used, or new. Truth. Almost always, when people get rid of a vehicle they're driving, that vehicle's got plenty of life in front of it, and they're getting rid of it just because they're bored with it and they want something else. Please be honest with yourself about that. The other thing is, when you go to buy new or used, knowing the right way to do so is key and central. So we've devoted a lot of effort at Clark.com walking you through the right way to buy a new vehicle or a new to you used vehicle. Please follow the steps. And I do want to mention to you, I keep hearing from people that dealers picked up some really bad habits during the COVID vehicle shortages that they don't realize won't play in the marketplace anymore unless you let them. A lot of dealers doing all these packs. Packs are made up charges, like some kind of protection package on the paint of the vehicle, where they're marking up the vehicle another $2,500 for a wax to the car or something. Don't fall for any of this junk. They're going to try to cram down your throat. You're the customer. The balance of power in the vehicle business has shifted back to you from the COVID shortages. Knowledge is power. Take control. And remember, more than anything else, for new vehicles, do all your shopping online. Never, ever, ever negotiate at the dealer.